Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. The 5 conservative members of the Supreme Court have done everything they can to aid the Republican Party. Going back to Bush versus Gore. Now, leading up to that decision, the Supreme Court had insisted that states' rights had to be respected, that states' rights were supreme. But then they ruled that the state of Florida did not have the right to conduct an election according to its own laws. Then there was Citizens United, which gave to corporations rights reserved exclusively for citizens in the Constitution. The Constitution does not give corporations any rights. Corporate rights are statutory. But the Supreme Court ruled that corporations were citizens and that they had the same rights as every other citizen. And since the GOP are the party of the rich, they knew that that was the party that would receive the bulk of the corporate money. But that wasn't enough to put the Republicans over the top in the 2012 election. Because no matter how many ads the corporations and billionaires put on the air, nobody was fooled. Now, by overturning the Voting Rights Act, they have given the forces of racism in the U.S. the power to disenfranchise millions of legitimate U.S. citizen voters who just happen to be minorities. And believe me, the GOP needs all the help they can get. Their only chance to win is by preventing the majority of Americans from voting. The reason is simple. Most Americans aren't buying their bullshit. Their core economic idea that funneling all the money to the rich and weakening the middle class have clearly led to the economic mess that we're in. Crippling the federal government only helps the rich and powerful to exploit the working class. On social issues, the majority of Americans have outgrown bigotry and narrow-mindedness and religious fanaticism. These are the 3 pillars of Republican thought, and most Americans are kind of repelled by them. And in foreign policy, the idea that we will accomplish our goals through war has been proven to be a complete disaster. Given a level playing field, today's Republican Party cannot compete. And so the Supreme Court has done everything it can to tilt the balance to the right. But try as they might, they're not going to make people believe what Republicans believe. The GOP will not win another national election in my lifetime. Democratic presidents will be naming Supreme Court judges long after Obama is gone. And a future Supreme Court will overturn many of this court's worst decisions. John Roberts will actually serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court that dismantles his legacy. Thanks for listening.